Pisces, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name is Carol, and Pisces, this is a general reading for December 2024, and I want to welcome any new subscribers that are coming back, and also those of you that have been following me. We are officially 1 year old this month, and so I thought that I would offer you a discount on my personal readings to celebrate this year anniversary, and also because it's the holiday season for those of you that are celebrating. And yeah, so I'm going to be giving you 25% discount on my personal readings, which is quite significant. And that will be up just for probably a week or two. And so if you want to take advantage of that, that will be in my description box below and also in my comments section. So for December, we're going to be doing the Yellow Cardinal Cross, which is a reading that I offer to you, one of the readings that I'm offering for personal readings. And I really like this reading because it's going to give me an idea of where you're sitting, what's going on with you this December. And so to start off with, I'm going to be using the Ehrenberg Tarot, and then we're going to clarify with the Tarot Vintage. And so I've pre-shuffled both of these decks before I came on. So let's start off with the issue. One card, if two cards come up, it'll be number 1 and 2. The issue that you're dealing with this month, whether it's a pattern that's showing up or problem, struggle you're dealing with. All right, so one card, and here it is. It is the Two of Wands is what your issue is right here. And then I need something to clarify that or tell me what's blocking it, obscuring it. And you have 2 cards. You have 3 cards, so that's too many. I'm going to put those away. Find that just for a clarifier or obscure, I was going to take the 2 and then I thought 3, I went, too much. So, right, we need a card here. 1 card for this Two of Wands. There we go. That's the one. The 9 of Pentacles on the floor. All right, so let's look at over here on your right what the conscious influence is on this issue that's showing up right here. Now, it's going to be something that you are aware of that is sort of having an influence on this, that you think it's causing it, or, you know, it's kind of related to it. So you have the Chariot in reverse. And then on the right side, well, my side, your left, and this is going to be the unconscious influence. So this is going to be what you're not aware of. Believe it or not, it is going to have the most impact on this issue. It's what's driving it. And it is what's sitting in our shadow, right? Shadow is all those things that we've repressed when we were younger, because we were told, you know, to put things away and weren't allowed to feel. So we put emotions away. Our traumas in here. All these big emotions we couldn't feel, these incidents, things that happened to us. And sometimes, you know, we will find gifts in our shadow as we peel away our layers of our trauma and our emotions. There's things in here that we were meant to do. So that's sitting in your shadow as well. And so we're going to ask for 1 card. And if you're not familiar with shadow work, I've left a really good video for you that I've put together myself. It's called My Powerful 4-Step Guide to Shadow Work. It'll be in the description box below. It's a video taken from my other channel, Carol Cares, and it's all about facing your own shadow and how to do it. So you can have a look at that if you're interested. So let's have 1 card for Pisces here and what's going on with them. You have the 5 of Wands. The 5 of Wands here that's sitting here in the shadow. Interesting card here. So yeah, and at the top now what we're going to do is we're going to look at what's needed for resolution for this issue or whatever this problem, struggle that you're sitting with. What is needed for resolution? 1 card, please. One card. The 4 of Cups. The 4 of Cups. And finally, some advice from the tarot. 1 card, please. the Seven of Wands. Okay, now let's put these away. We'll clarify quickly. Let's go with the Two of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles, couple cards to clarify that. There we go. I like when they come flying out of my deck. The Ten of Wands and the Knight of Cups. It was kind of in reverse here, so I'm just going to put it like this. Not in reverse, sorry. Sideways is what I meant to say. The Chariot in reverse, a couple cards for that. You have the Five of Swords and the Lover's card. And a shadow, the Five of Wands, a couple cards. And one come up there. One more card. Oh, Queen of Wands. You have two queens here. Fascinating. Two queens side by side here. I don't think I've seen that. It's rare that you get those two together. Two queens side by side. Even like two kings or, yeah. Interesting. Okay, Four of Cups. Couple cards. Ace of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. Seven of Wands. We got one there, and we got one right here. So, the Death card and the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. I'm not sure which one came up first here for those two, but it's okay. Okay, so let's begin your reading. I'm going to begin with your overriding energy for December. In January of this year, I did a yearly reading for you. They're in my description box, and I pulled 12 cards, and the card that I pulled for you for December was the High Priestess in reverse. And the High Priestess is the Major Arcana card, so she's the first half of the feminine archetype. We have a feminine side and we have a masculine side. Has nothing to do with our gender. It's just that our feminine side has been repressed for many, many years. And in particular, what's been repressed with our feminine side are the qualities that we all hold. It has nothing to do with gender. Very interesting because you have two queens here, and that's my queens are the feminine side to us. So very much a sort of a call here. Well, we'll see. Before I say anything, let's just go into this, what this this card represents. So the High Priestess, there's the High Priestess and then there's the Empress that comes out. And both of those cards form the feminine energy, the feminine archetype in the Major Arcana. High Priestess speaks about our intuition, which is the beautiful quality, feminine quality that we all have. We just don't know it. And the key is to try to get in touch with our intuition, because our intuition is our inner knowing. It's a deep gut inner knowing, and we lead most of our life in our head. And our ego self leads us, and that's our masculine side. And so we make all our decisions from our head. But there's a real overriding energy here where it's like you have this inner knowing. This deep inner knowing that's connected to your higher self, that's connected to source, creator, God, universe, whatever you want to call it. And you have access to it. But right now it's either either that you deny it, that you have this, or that it's blocked for you if you're aware of what intuition is. And so we're going to see how that plays out, your intuition, your deep inner knowing here, how that plays out in this reading for you. So what are you sitting with? What issues going on with you right now? Whether a pattern, a struggle? You start off with the Two of Wands clarified by the Nine of Pentacles. So the Two of Wands is this woman that's, I'm going to say she looks like a woman, individual, that is staring at this globe, this world globe here, and kind of getting the nudge, or kind of feeling this intuitive nudge, we'll use that word, that there's something there, out there, more out there for them, or maybe feeling this deep nudge to take their life into some creative path for them. And when I say creative, I mean it's something maybe that's completely different, new for you. And it would be something maybe that people would look at you. You could be judged by other people, and they could look at you and go like, what are they doing? Or what? But there's something there. It's like this little nudge that's coming up for you right now. And it's the Nine of Pentacles is coming out as a clarifier here. And the Nine of Pentacles talks about this real, becoming really self-aware, becoming to a point where like it's like what matters to you. You're starting to focus on what matters to you. And so that's where you are. It's a neat place to be, where you're just kind of going, I'm feeling something. Like something's coming. I know there's something there, and it's like you're becoming more aware, self-aware that there's more out there for you. There's something else that maybe is starting to matter a little bit more here. And that's no surprise that your intuition here is wanting to, that's what's coming out here. You know, intuition is like this little whisper. It's not loud. And when it's really desperate, that's not your intuition, that's your ego. It's something that whispers to you very quietly, and it'll go away, and it'll come back and go away. It's like a little nudge. And this is what this is. It's like an intuitive call. This is an intuitive call here that's coming out for you. And I don't know, it looks like you've been through, this is coming after some sort of burdens that you're kind of going, I've had enough, I'm putting this away, it's time to move on. So I think you're wanting to move on. And this is why this intuitive nudge is coming. And that often comes because the number 10 is the end of a cycle. And this is the end of, this cycle of burdens that you've been through here. So, oftentimes when we've kind of been through this period of our life that's been very difficult, it's like I'm ready now for a new change, and I'm feeling it. And here's the freedom fire that's coming out. And the Knight of Cups is what I call our freedom fighter. The knights in my deck, there are 4 of them. There are freedom fighters. They are the part of us. We all have that part that wants to be free, to be authentic. And think of an adolescent, because it's an adolescent part of us. They want nothing more to be free from control, free from oppression, free from and moving towards their authenticity. This is the cup that carries the cup. This is the knight that carries the cup. And so this particular knight is wanting to have freedom, to have experience authentic relationships. And so I'm seeing here that it's like there's something else, there's something out there for me. I can feel this pull towards my authenticity. I'm tired of maybe there's been some control in your life where you're starting to move out of that, and you're wanting to move now towards this intuitive call that's coming here for you. So what's the conscious influence here on this situation? Well, you have the Chariot card here. And I think for a while, you've been feeling this universal sort of push, maybe, to go inwards. And this is what the Chariot card's about. And it was in reverse, because we can often resist it. There's a resistance to doing it. I think for a long time, there's been, you've been either using your mind to control certain things, like you've been, or it could be that I've been talking about control here, or maybe you have been in some sort of a controlling relationship because you're wanting authentic relationships here. But this is the real call now that talks about, rather than try to control things with our mind all the time, this talks about now it's time to go inwards. And that's what the Chariot card is all about. And so there's that call out there again for you to go inwards, and that's where we get in touch with our intuition. But there's this real, this Five of Swords talks about, this is what I call my bullying card. And here's this individual, this bully at the front, who's, got this grimace on their face because they've just won this battle. But there's this individual in the back here, and that's who I focus on, and that's the victim here. That's the one that's feeling all this shame. And there's some real unworthiness here. So you're feeling this real unworthiness about yourself. And yet, you have this choice to make. The Lover's card is a big choice here. And the Lover's card does not talk about, in my deck, some lover coming forward. I will never tell you that. But it is very much a card of, you have a masculine figure here and you have a feminine figure that are very, very vulnerable. They're naked. And you notice here the masculine is looking forward. That's our ego self. That's our conscious self that only sees so much. And then the feminine here is not even looking at the masculine side. Feminine's looking up here. And that is the feminine side that we have to ourselves that comes from a higher self here. And so you have a choice here. The choice is for you. Will you go inwards? You have a call here. You have a call to go inwards. You have a call to get in touch with your intuition. There's some inner guidance here for you. You are feeling it. You are feeling it with this Two of Wands. That's the little nudge that you're feeling. You're feeling this call. And I think you're becoming more self-aware. You are realizing here that there's something pulling you to go inwards. There's a pull here to go inwards. This intuitive call. Now, I can't help think about this unworthiness and where that's coming from. Because oftentimes when we need to make this big move, when we need to go inwards and put ourselves first and answer this intuitive call, there's always some emotions here that are covering it. And I'm seeing here that this unworthiness is here. Without even looking at what's here, I'm wondering if that's what's coming from your shadow. Where is this unworthiness coming from that you need to get to heal it? And the Five of Wands comes up here, right? And the Five of Wands is a card where these two individuals are staring at each other over this wand. It's I call it my battle of the ego, but it's the real card where you judge yourself, where you kind of have been told when you were young. I shouldn't say kind of. Where you've been told when you were younger by people that you don't matter or you're not good enough. And that brings about shame in us. I find that my Five of Wands, I like to call it the mean kid card. It's the card where we say things to ourselves like, who do you think you are? You don't matter. Like, why would you want to do this? Why would you want to follow this intuitive call here? That's not what you know, what's this lady talking about here? And you really can beat yourself up. And that's what's sitting here in your shadow, is this part of you. It's a mean kid part that continues to beat themselves up, and it's the shame that we have sitting in our system. And oftentimes when I want to hear what that part of me wants to say, I will journal from that part. I will literally write all those things that are mean to myself. I will say, like, who do you think you are? You know, why do you think you can do this? There's nothing out there for you. This isn't an intuitive call. This is all bullshit. All these things that I'm telling myself that are so mean, and they're often sound like things that people told you when you were younger. And this is what's sitting here in your shadow for you to heal. And that's where the shame is coming from. And because right behind it, this is fabulous. Right behind that, in your shadow that you've buried, is this feminine side to you. Now let's look at these two qualities that are buried, because the queens in my deck represent the feminine side. And you know, no surprise that you have that. Your intuition is blocked because you need to heal this shame, this unworthiness you feel about yourself. And underneath these two are your feminine side. These are the qualities you start off with. There's two of them. So you have the pentacle and you also have the wand. The pentacle talks about the body. The pentacle talks about getting back in your body and being grounded. This particular feminine, this queen, is very much in her body. She makes all her decisions in her body. She loves the body. And she knows that in order to make decisions, in order to get in touch with her intuition, in order to answer that intuitive call, to find out what it is, we need to be grounded. This other one talks about the wand. And the wand is that creative direction, our purposeful direction that we're meant to go into. There is a purposeful direction here that you're starting to feel, and you know it. You're starting to bring awareness to this direction that you're being called to go into. But these two queens are in reverse in your shadow, which tells me that when this part of you, this feminine side of you, and you have two of them here, has been repressed for so long by, you know, this, your masculine side, sometimes your ego will say, no, we're not taking these two out. We're not going here. There's no such thing as this feminine side here. You can feel quite hopeless. And so I'm wondering here if you are sitting in some real, or have been sitting in some real hopelessness, and maybe this is what this Ten of Wands is. You know, maybe you're fed up with this hopelessness, this depression. I call it futility that you've been sitting in for so long. And sometimes these queens can hold some anger. And, you know, we need to get angry sometimes. And I do that in my writing as well. I'll do rage on the page with my computer, and I'll just get angry, because sitting behind that is a lot of grief. Is a lot of grief that probably needs to be felt here for sure. That shame that you've been feeling. So fascinating that's coming out in your shadow. What's needed for resolution here? Well, the main card here that's needed is, I want you to look at this Four of Cups here. This cup right here that's on offer, it's like a cup from the universe. It says, here's an offer for you to feel your emotions. Here's an offer for you to feel this grief, to feel this shame. But look at the arms of that person, how they're like, nope, I'm not doing it. I'm not going there. And you know, we're so petrified of taking that cup. We're so petrified to take those cups of emotions. And this universe is saying we need to go a little bit deeper. And I'm wondering if you're someone that, you know, has been like, nope, I'm not feeling this. Nope, not going deeper. A lot of us will swear off of it. We're saying, nope, not going there. Not going to do it. But the universe is not only offering you that cup, but it's also offering you this Ace of Pentacles. Our aces are a gift from the universe. It's offering you your body. It's like, here's a chance to get back into your body. And that's where you're going to meet your intuition. And that's where you're going to heal. You're going to find this feminine side to you, because the body is the feminine side to us. And here's another chance. It's all right here. And then you have a page. Here's our little page. Now, I did say that there's, a part of you that feels very unworthy. And here this part has come out right here, and it's telling me what it is. My pages in my deck, and there are 4 of them, they represent our inner children. And I know that mainstream psychology likes to say that we just have one inner child. But I've been on my own healing journey for 7.5 years intensively for my own complex trauma. And I know that I have more than one inner child. And this particular child is your inner child, 4, 5, 6 years old, that knew what it was like to be grounded, to be in their body. Because all kids, when they're younger, 4, 5, 6 years old, are in their body until they're told some mean things when they're younger. And that's when they go up in their head. The ego self will come in and protect you and put you up in your head so that you don't have to feel. Because when we're up in our head, we don't feel. It's in our body that we need to get to feel these emotions. And so there's a real call here for you to get back into your body, because there's a little part of you that needs healing. And our inner children need to heal. They need to be heard. They need to be understood. And we need to feel these big emotions like shame and grief that they couldn't feel when they were younger. They put them away. And they're all here for you when you get back in your body to feel them, because there's a new call, there's a new direction. There's a real call for you to go inwards with the Chariot card over here. You got the High Priestess here. Big call for you to go inwards. What is the advice from the tarot? Well, the first card is the 7 of Wands in reverse. The 7 of Wands is a special card for me. It really represents the journey here that I'm on. Look at this individual, and I love how this deck focused on for the 7 of Wands. What this deck does, it'll take the Rider-Waite deck and it'll focus on a particular, just something in each card and blow it up. And this one focused on the feet of the individual in the 7 of Wands. And look at the shoes, and oftentimes we forget to talk about these 2 shoes that do not match. This is very much an individual, the 7 of Wands, that's a non-conformist. It's somebody that has decided to go out on their own, and they're going to get people here that are not going to support them and not going to validate them. And maybe that's you. I think you're sitting here in a situation where, because it's in reverse here, I think you're sitting here in a situation where you are surrounded by people that are not going to support you, or don't support you, or not validate you. It's very important on this journey, when we decide to follow this intuitive call to go inwards so that we can start to heal this inner child of ours that needs healing. It's very, very important that we are surrounded by people who validate us and who support us. Sometimes, a lot of times, it can be a very lonely journey, because when you decide to go out, and be that non-conformist and say, you know what, I'm going to heal this. I'm going to do the inner journey here. There are people that are going to try to pull you back down, and that's what happened to me. Because this next card that comes out is the Death card here. And it really tells me that that there are people in your life, things in your life, old habits in your life that need to be let go of. And oftentimes when you go out on this journey, it can be a very lonely journey, because there are people that can't come along with us. There are things, there are old habits that we need to drop in order to do this journey. And this is what both of these cards are saying. The Wheel of Fortune is here for you. in an upright position, the Wheel of Fortune talks about, you know, life turns here in this wheel. Things happen to us. And this is a card when it talks about there's a major change of circumstance here for you that's coming up. But it's in reverse here. And I know there is a resistance on your part to doing this. It's very scary. It's very scary to make that decision to go inwards and start to feel and start to heal some of the stuff that's sitting in your shadow. But it's going to bring about a major change of circumstance for you. There's a big change for you coming up here. And with the Wheel of Fortune, it's all about your reaction to it, right? Because we can be aware that this is going to be a big change in our life. And it can bring about a lot of different emotions and a lot of fear. And it's our reaction to it. And we deal with those emotions as they come up. This has been a really fascinating journey for you, reading for you. It sounds like there's an intuitive call here that you're needing to follow. You have a choice with the Lover's card coming up, and you know that. There's a choice here. This Lover's card doesn't force you to do it. It just says, you know, here's a choice that you can make. It's up to you whether you want to do this. So I want you to have compassion for yourself, Pisces, for what you're working through. This is the most difficult journey of your life, but it's the most important one. And I'll talk to you in a couple of weeks. Take care. Bye-bye.